What's a content creation workflow in the simplest terms? Well, my personal definition is a set of subtasks that you complete in a specific order to complete a project. When we're talking about a workflow though, technically that involves all parts of a project including filming. However, the obvious part is we're uploading content to YouTube. So there is by default the assumption that at the core, we are already filming or recording something. So you can think of the tasks that would occur before or after filming to be building out your creation workflow. Do you need a content creation workflow? The short answer is no, you don't really need one. No one really needs a workflow. Everyone can just turn on a camera, start recording, and upload whatever they recorded. And if you feel good winging it every time with your content, or that works for you, then why would you bother wasting time with other tasks when you can get straight into the filming? Now, the long answer is probably yes. But it depends on what you suck at. More on that later. So why would you want one? What could it help you with? For this section, let's pop up a few examples of potential tasks you might incorporate into a creation workflow. Writing scripts could help you clear your mind on how to approach a video, or help you know the talking points at least. Editing could help you cut unnecessary parts of a video out that you might not want, which would in turn help to make it more engaging, even if just a little bit. Filming your own content would provide you with videos you can use for your project. I realize that sounds like an obvious one, but some people don't like filming, or filming themselves in particular. But adding your face in your video helps people relate to you more, and find more commonality in another human. At least visually, for starters. So, does it actually help you? Well, as I said before, but I'll put it more eloquently this time, it depends on what you struggle with. If you struggle with figuring out what to say or how to make your videos more cohesive, then writing some sort of script would be worth your while. I feel like I struggle making my videos cohesive sometimes, and I definitely know when I'm filming, I occasionally struggle on what to say next. So I'll tell you from my experience, scripting it out saves an incredible amount of time in my filming process. Because think about it, if you aren't great at knowing where your sentences are going, or remembering all the points you wanted to make, you're using your filming time to script and record at the same time. Except you chose to make it more difficult by attempting to script in your head on the spot. So if you add scripting to your project task list, and if talking is one of the main issues you encounter, then once you've done those two tasks, your project is done. But you should consider starting to do the parts that improve the video the most for you. Scripting will likely improve your video, but there's an even higher chance that editing will improve it more. Let's look at me for an example again. I've done a ton of unscripted videos. When I started YouTube, I wanted to film straight away because that was the most fun part for me. I wanted to get things filmed and uploaded because I wanted to share the things I was filming quickly. I never considered scripting. The point is, they're unscripted, but they're still edited. I have always edited my videos. The biggest thing you can do when editing videos is cutting out blank spaces or empty time. Points where you aren't talking about anything, or you're thinking about what to say. If you leave those things in, people may feel like watching your videos doesn't provide them enough value for the amount of time they invested in it. But here's the thing, I'm not going to tell you what tasks you need to do. You need to figure out what tasks will benefit you the most. Coming back to what I mentioned before, what do you struggle with the most? I struggle with remembering my points and leaving blank spaces in my video. I also struggle with not sounding alive enough in my videos. At least in my opinion. So to compensate the memory and blank space deficiencies, I now script the majority of my videos. And not all of them, because sometimes I can't be bothered, but most of them, including this one. If you thought this video was unscripted, you're out of your mind. Do you realize how many points I've covered already? And to compensate the dead personality issue, I use editing to liven me up. Normally I do zooms or cuts here and there and try to make it fun or funny. But on that note, I want to say I don't put in that much effort. One of my goals in life is to create content as simplified and as easy as possible, and maximizing the fun part. The fun part for me is filming. Editing and scripting are second. So more effort goes into that, or rather this, than the other tasks. But what is that level of effort that I'm talking about? What is that extra effort that goes into filming that doesn't get put into scripting or editing? Well, at the core of that lies motivation. The effort to actually get up and do it, turn on the camera, it's there. I make it easy to just push my button, turn on my light. I took my own hurdles out of pushing record, and now my motivation is high to just set up my camera and press go. Well, technically I'm not pressing go, there's no go button, but it's the record button. I just didn't want to say record multiple times in the same sentence. But now I've said record in like the same thought process at least 10 times now, right? What you try to avoid the most ends up becoming reality. But there's still other things that go into setting up a camera for filming when it comes to putting effort into the filming. Like, for example, setting up my background. I fixed those pillows so it didn't look like crap behind me when I turned this on. I grabbed my light from over there, put it on top of my camera and turned it on so you could actually see me when I did this. But those are the types of actions that the effort goes into, including motivation to do that makes it easier for me, more simplified and more enjoyable to turn on my camera and record. So the filming is inevitably the easiest and most fun part for me. So if you're like me, you probably end up doing as little as possible in the other tasks that you find the most boring, or the ones that you find more boring. I mean, if you find doing this stuff boring in general, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. But not everyone always fully enjoys all the tasks that might go into making a good video. The thing I'll leave you with to think about is, find out what you struggle with and what tasks you could consider doing to make your content creation life easier. Whatever that may be, put at least some effort into those things. Maximum effort. To reduce friction elsewhere. I love making videos, but for the longest time, I've struggled making my content. I'm constantly looking for ways to solve these problems. What I want to do with this information is share it on YouTube to help other creators make easier decisions on how to create their content or what to do with their channel. All this information is coming from my perspective. I find there's a lot of content on YouTube these days about how to YouTube, but they just keep telling you what to do without actually knowing. I just want to give you some information, perhaps give a recommendation based on my experience, and you decide for yourself. So don't hesitate to subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.